Hello everyone and welcome back, it's Weeb. Today we are on the last part of the video about which unit you should build for the future. And last time we did SSR and SR, and today we'll do the rest basically, so R unit and N units. So this video should be quick because there isn't actually a lot to say about R and N units. Just before the video starts, I want to talk quickly about the two new banners there is on Global. About Liu Xiyong, Awaken Yumina, and Kang Soyun. I'll quickly talk about Kang Soyun. Kang Soyun is free, so I would not recommend pulling fire, but he's a great unit overall, but he's free. You can farm her in operation in Satisfactory. In her Satisfactory, as for. You can unlock it by doing the main quest and main story, and you can get her here from here. So yeah, no use pulling for her in a banner, it would be a waste of tickets. Liu Xiyong, not to confund with Liu Xiyun. They are quite similar for those who are interested in the story. You can just look it up why they are so similar, but yeah. Liu Xiyong is basically do the same thing as Liu Xiyun. Yeah, one has a G, the other not. But yeah, they both have the counter mechanic, and they have actually a very similar ultimate. Even in the name, ultimate skill is spatial breakthrough, and if I remember, Liu Xiyong is something spatial also. Oh, he's a wrangler as well. If you check, it's called spatial slack. You can see it. There's something going on between those two units. Yeah, it's not really that exceptional. Like, you can just use Liu Xiyun. She doesn't bring really anything new. So we don't recommend pulling for her as well. On Yumina, I guess you can pull for her. She isn't that great technically. She is only for PvP. So PvE, you wouldn't really recommend use her. Even in PvP, I would only use her in RTA. Because in normal arena, since it's automatic, she will just deploy next to your clip. Passive skill where she enters the stage. It's kinda like Pendragon. So you know when she lands, she also do damage upon entering. But it's kinda useless because in normal arena it's automatic, so it just deploys next to your clip. So this is basically useless in normal PvP. So only for RTA. She's great for RTA though. One of the best. And she gets. I don't think the buff are already applied in global, but she gets buff later on, and she becomes even better in RTA. So I wouldn't recommend pulling for her actually, because there is, in my opinion, a way better striker coming up afterward, with way more utility overall. There is even more later on better awaken unit in general. So yeah, that's it for the little banner updates. I hope that can help some people, and now let's go talk about R and N units. The main thing to know about R and N units is that most of them cost a lot less, around 2 or sometimes 3, and there is 4 for this one, but it's mostly low cost, so in PvP it's a great idea to have sometimes N or R units to be able to cycle more, and sometimes having more units low cost is better to have less unit but high cost. Like if there's some people that run meme comp of only awaken unit, but most of awaken are 6 cost and some of them are 5 cost. And if you fight against a guy that run low cost units, usually low cost units have multiple. You can see Alphabet, there's 3 of them. There's usually a lot of units on the ground, and you can get overwhelmed by the amount of units. But they're usually really weak, so one big AoE and they can all die at once. So yeah, we'll start with the N units. There's only 2 I want to talk about mainly. Maybe, well, we can say 3, I guess. Riflemen are okay, but I wouldn't really use them. They are easy to build, so once your account is set, maybe level them up. It's quite easy since they are ends, they cost nothing. and you just use them for maybe stages where you need a lot of multi-hit. Since there are 3 of them, and if you give them an attack speed, you can really easily attack fast and then break the shield or something like that. Because in PvE there's actually a lot of boss with mechanic where you need a lot of multi-attack. But you will see that after there is basically a better unit for them. The 2 other I want to talk about are Sparrow and Woodpecker. Those 2 are actually really great mech, to be honest, at the beginning. This one does... There are 2 of them and they do pretty good damage and they have quite a lot of multi-hits. So... yeah, as I said, there is really nothing to say about them specifically each time. It's just that they are useful in some cases and they are low cost, so yeah. And same for this one. This one is actually has pretty good utility, I would say, because he is alone and he's quite squishy. But since he's air type, he isn't blocked by any defender or something like that. And you'll see that sometimes he will just go past defender for some reason. Like maybe he'll get hit and pushed towards the wrong area. And if he managed to get to Ranger, he actually does pretty good damage against Ranger. And it's AoE, so since most Ranger stands at the back lane at the same place, you will probably kill most of the Ranger pretty easily. Another mech is Hound. Hound is actually pretty tanky, to be honest, for it's a tank defender. A tank being a tank. But there is a tank that isn't actually a defender in the game, but yeah. This one is... well, it's a tank, let's be honest, but he has pretty good HP, and he has damage resistance here, for example, whenever he do his special skill. So... he's actually a decent tank if you don't really have anything, but I actually use him in a mech team because in mech there isn't actually, like if we go on mech and defender, there isn't actually a lot. Yeah, there is only SI on the awaken one, and none of them are actually on global right now, and they're probably not going to be on global for a while. Maybe overflow will be soon, but Horizon just came up on the CA, on Evolve 1 is an awaken and isn't coming in for a while normally. So yeah, if you want a tank, a defender as a mech, Hound is pretty much the only option for now. And then next one, just checking, like, you can see there's a lot of classic military vehicle, but yeah, none of them are really impressive. And next is Cindy Looper. She's actually a great striker with pretty good survivability. She has a lot of healing on her skills. Like here she restores 60% of her HP whenever she does her ultimate. So she could be almost dead, and then if she gets her ultimate, she will basically restore most of her health. And whenever she do a special, she gets heal for every second this skill effect. So how long is this skill for? I think, isn't it permanent? I think it's something like you need to hit stun F to stop this skill or something like that, so she can heal pretty much a full life with it as well. So yeah, she has great survivability for end striker. So would recommend if you really don't have anything, and she's mostly for PvP. I've seen team where you're with her. She has a skin you can buy with crystal, quartz, not crystal, but yeah. Claudia, if you don't have Yangarim on global and you don't want to raise any particular healer, she's a great option. Even on high-end PvE, she still does the job. Like, just being able to restore 20% when she lands on the field is pretty big, and then her healing skill are AoE, so it's pretty good. She even has a barrier on the ultimate. So yeah. I think that's the only supporter on the... ah no, there is 2 other supporters. Then we have Assault Trooper. Assault Trooper are basically a better version of the Rifleman. I wouldn't recommend using clip alt-tabbing without paying attention. Assault Trooper are... they have forward deployment. They basically power drop on the stage. So you can power drop them behind the enemy and let them do some damage. They are used in PvE in some content. One that isn't on global yet, I think, unless it's stuck behind the level, and I'm not that level yet on global, but it's Dagger Claws. Some boss and Dagger Clones require you to be behind them to do damage, or sometimes they just require you to have some multi-hits. And since there are 3 of them with attack speed, and they can be deployed behind, they are sometimes used in those contents where boss, for example, this one it takes more damage from the air, so if you can be behind him, it takes more damage. So having those, being able to be paradrop behind is really great. And there is some, I think there is a shield guy, if I remember correctly, that requires you to do multi-hits, and this guy can do the job as well. Next one is Fionn Lowell. If you don't have any counter tank, which there could be quite a lot counter tank to be honest, but I need to remove Aaron because there is already awaken, there is Ryumi. There is actually only that for now, I think. There is Ogami and Ryan, but none of them are really impressive. Okay, sorry. I had a little break because someone interrupted me. But anyway, I was saying Ryan, Fire, Ogami, and Benedict aren't really that great of a tank. Ryumi is decent, but she is a dodge tank. She isn't like a tank that have really great defense and HP. She mostly rely on her dodge and her damage resistance, but she's decent, not gonna lie, but sometimes Fionn can do better job when it comes to just pure tanking. And if you don't have a Awaken day, it's a great thing. All of them are not on global yet, so I won't talk about them. So Fionn Lowell is really great for tanking at low level. And as I said, with all air on N units, they cost less to upgrade, so when you start the game, it's really hard to level up because you have to level up one by one your unit, and it usually takes 3 to 4 days of farming. What is it called? Simulation, if I remember. Yeah, simulation. So yeah, having R on N units that cost less to build are pretty good. The next one is Ingrid Johanna. Johanna? No. She's actually a decent unit because she has the forward deployment mechanic with her, and she can be deployed anyway. Yeah, it's passive, and she has she's an evasion unit. She can dodge pretty easily. You can see her ultimate give her attack speed and evasion by increase by 70%. 70% attack speed is really impressive, to be honest. When you see her doing a basic attack after doing ultimate, she cannot too hard to follow. And she basically gets 50% evasion permanently, and she gets basic attack speed. So yeah, units that can really hit quite fast. And if you need attack speed units, she's great as well. And now we'll talk about the last one, Eerie Alford. So another tank that can be great to level up, but the reason I would level up isn't to use her right now. It's cause she's the only R unit, not in workshop, she's the only R unit to get rearm right now. And rearm make SR units, so if you want later on, she can be decent tank for that. But yeah, I hope that you consider building some of them. I have some of them built. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to talk about R1 side. R1 side is basically the best mech killer in the game if you use mech team. Just him being able to pop on the stage, plant his device to heal by 4% every second for 8 seconds. It's pretty huge, and he increases mech damage resistance. He usually die pretty quickly because he's quite squishy. But yeah, he's a great mech killer. And yeah. That's it for all the R on N units. I hope you guys will consider building some of those units, because I do have some of them built. You can see by the bar of progression I have some of them built. Not all of them, but some of them are really great to have. I use them, like I once said I use them in my mech team. Fiona I use her sometime in PvE when we need really low cost tank and I can't use ASR for example. And I usually use a mech team. Same for Sparrow and Woodpecker. Like, I think I've already showed it one time, but a basic mech team that you can do almost day one outside of Glanus. Like you can see, it has only it has only 2 USR. Like Glanus was who I used before. I think I used either Booza or Blacktail or Blacktail. Like, you can see it's a team mostly composed of R and S and units. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. If you want, you can leave a like or consider subscribing. And that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Bye.